All right, as you all know, we're still in the infant stages of this thing. So I'm looking at the levels, trying to follow instructions, but seeing more reds than I care to see. You know, the only thing red in Trinidad is Digicel. That good. But anyway, all right, it's looking like everything in a gear now. All right, let me. All right. Hey, all right, I ain't seeing. Okay. All right, so a pleasant good morning to everyone. Thank you so much for joining me again in this episode of Richard Rant. Thank you for joining us, as a matter of fact, because it isn't us. We have a team, and for that I'm grateful. Much love to the producer, Sion Hernandez, and the main sponsor of the mic that is teaching me a thing or two, Michael Palmer. Remember, for all of your electronic repairs, phones, accessories, iPods, just give me a call and we'll send that information on over to him. Feeling a bit positive today, but the rant wouldn't really be that positive, so don't get your hopes up. But I'll start off in a good place. Fun Claire Steel Orchestra has decided to emancipate themselves from government dependency, and I am so proud. Remember, Trinidad is the only place that created an instrument in... Alright, so I'm not going to pull it up on Google, but for that time period, it was the 19th century, the 20th century, the 20th century. Because we're in the 21st century now. So Trinidad was the only, I'm seeing red again, sorry, yeah. But I'm going through. Trinidad was the only place to create a musical instrument in the 20th century, the steel pan. It was never copyrighted. I believe it's copyrighted now, but a bit late because China jumped in the scene and take the pan and made it into a keyboard. And it's only when other countries started to, take the instruments that we decided to do something. In addition to that, the steel pan is one of the most versatile instruments ever created. There are so many different types of steel pans as well, but we only really seem to use it in a steel band, which, as patriotic as I am, isn't the sexiest form of music. It's a bit noisy, to be quite frank. You have to be in it or not. And the thing with entertainment is that unless you are catering to a particular niche to entertain, it really should not be a polarizing type situation. And you would think that after all these years that we would have expanded, improved, enhanced, modified, adapted, but we haven't really. In my opinion, we should have steel pan playing in all public places. And the government has artists on retainer for Napa. Have no idea exactly what that means, but it's my understanding. I'm hoping to be wrong, quite frankly, that they just get $4,500 a month to be on call whenever needed. Whatever that means. Probably the same like the street sweepers that, if you didn't know, we actually have street sweepers in Trinidad and Tobago, and they, as their name suggests, sweep the streets. They're supposed to do it between the hours of midnight and 6 a.m., and the street is even supposed to be washed down. That's all I would say to that. If anybody ever coming home from a juve ride, a boat ride, a party, a event, avenue, a illegal zest, a legal zest, a guest house, a speakeasy, a church service, a burial, a skadungs, and see them, snap a picture and send it, because I never see them. They're like ghosts. But the money does run normal, on time, every time. And quite frankly, I thought about getting into that as well, but this stupid thing I have called a conscience, it could be very unreasonable from time to time. And this was supposed to be the happy part of the rant. Alright, let me try and go back. Fun Claire has decided to emancipate themselves from the government. That doesn't mean that they're saying no. It will be kind of like the denominational schools. But they are getting some financial independence by way of starting a business. They have opened an NLCB lotto booth. And in addition to that, they also have a gift shop. I think that that is so fantastic. The only thing that I would add to that would be a rum shop. It is a panyard, or maybe a sports bar, something of that nature, who I think will just be fantastic. The gift shop in particular is amazing because it means to say that you can sell your brand exclusively, and that would just have so much residual effects. And it could also employ other persons, like these people that do customized glasses, mugs, keychains, tops, banners, t-shirts. It's something that so many people should actually go into. I think the only other public artist that has that type of a feature is Faye Lyons. She has a sportswear brand. I cannot remember the name of it right now, but Google it. It's actually up, running, marketable. You could purchase stuff online. She has a Facebook page. This stuff is a bit eccentric. You stand out in the gym, but it's sexy. And she promotes it a lot with her free carnival burnout every year. So I'm very impressed. It's fantastic. It's about some time that we take a page out of the 1%. And I do hope that other people that just beg for government handouts also do the same. I'll be a little bit crass, but even these people that, just always making children and then getting the government grant, they can't really sell the children, but maybe, they could even start to sell some of them eggs and sperm. But I don't think, do they buy it? I'll look into that because I could sell some and subsidize my income as well. Why I didn't think of that before. Coming soon, another Richard Rant. So, that was the end of the good news segment. I'm just looking to see if there's anything that I'm forgetting. I'm hoping that I didn't forget something, but no. So, here we go. COVID is back. I don't know if we thought it was going to go away. Mumps, polio, chickenpox, shingles, these things still exist. We just get vaccinated. Ringworm, cholera. There's another type of worm, can't remember the name of it. It's not tapeworm, but all these things still exist. We just get vaccinated. So that is my whole continued disgust with the way that the world in total is dealing with this whole COVID situation, as though it's a temporary situation. HIV, AIDS, this sexy disease that you could get through sweat. It starts with a T. I'm not going to look it up because I already make my point, but you have a disease. Is it tuberculosis? I think it's that you could just get. If I have it and I sweat on you, you have it. But oh God, corona. Let me sanitize, let me change skin from wherever we bleach and we hand with, etc., etc. So COVID is back. And for me, I find it a bit amusing, but I do recognize that it is not funny. And if I offend you with this one, please forgive me. But the immigration department and the airport have a bunch of COVID cases and they quarantine and they tilly and all of that. I have to wonder if it is they just wanted a vacation, but I believe they really have COVID. But I don't understand exactly where they got it from. And I didn't see anything about the contact tracing because the airport not really airporting right now. The Venezuelans passed through the other day with this situation with the repatriation flight and doing some research on that one. But if it was that the Venezuelans had COVID, then what about all the people that interacted with them? Other than that, as far as I understand, it's only if it is you're big and you dance, because there are so-called rules that you can use to travel and stuff to fill out, but doesn't really seem to be known to non-celebrity persons. Gary did it when he went to Ireland. So I'm not really aware of any grand set of people airporting right now. It's just between Trinidad and Tobago. And so I'm not sure where this COVID pop up from with the immigration officers, but they got it from a Valentine's Day party. I'm going to call it a Valentine's Day zest. So love was in the house, and whatever they was doing in there, that they touch up each other, and all of them have it now. Also, I didn't see anything about their families, which is why it is I'm wondering if they just wanted a vacation. Is it that they are in a close-knit community and they just live by themselves and go to work, like a cult or a commune? How come the families don't have it? And who was the person at ground zero that bring this COVID in any case? But apart from that, a boy in Tobago, in Mariah, he also got COVID. His family don't have it. So I don't know if it is this COVID is spontaneous in your genes, if it is a descendant from the heavens, if somebody have a voodoo doll. But one student, no other student in his school, this one student gets it, and he in quarantine, and the school getting sanitized. His parents don't have it. So I don't know if it is they just have him sleeping under the house by himself. This whole situation is difficult for somebody like me to take seriously. Not that I don't believe that it exists, I just don't believe we are dealing with it properly. And then in the same sense, we have Auntie Cam Cam, that's my auntie, her birthday coming up with mine. We born on the 22nd of April. So I should invite she to Mazas, and the both of we like to drink our rum. I feel I would send you an email on the Facebook page. We see what we could. Next thing you know, Auntie come in a Richard Rant. I doubt, but hey, that will be vibes, But then it will get political. But then it would also get views, airplay, traction, media. Producer. Alright, so we move on. The 22nd, no, not to my birthday plans. Sorry. Auntie Cam Cam. I'm going to leave this in. Auntie Cam Cam, write India. We always write in India, I don't know what ties it is we have in India, but every time somebody UNC affiliated in power, they just be touching up India. I don't know if all of you all remember, some of you all that listen to this may have now been being conceived, escaping a condom or the pull-out method. But for those of us that are a little bit older, would probably remember that it had rice that we had buy from India that disappeared in the sea. It had no reports of any ships sinking or loss of life or anything, so it was unknown if it went through the Bermuda Triangle or the aliens take it because the rice looked good or what, but it's, a set of money spent for rice from India. Not rice from Guyana, not to produce rice in Trinidad, because we have rice being grown in Trinidad or any Caribbean island, but we needed to get that Indian rice in we pot. Some of it make it, and it was like pap, people say it's dog rice and all of that. Now we are going to India for this COVID vaccine. And all of my generic Google research is telling me that this COVID vaccine is shit. I'd like to use other adjectives like ineffective, inconclusive, but I think shit is the most appropriate one, because at the end of the day, how it is you could spend all this money to make a vaccine and then it is you shipping it across the world and it have to be shipped cold. So there's a whole scene altogether. You're telling me that we can't be in and about and up and around with COVID, but all these people airporting it all over the place, and you don't know if it would be effective. You don't know if it would kill me. You don't know if it would have side effects. You don't know. So where is it? Where it is? This is how it is the people went down in Guyana with the commune and they drink the Kool-Aid and all of them dead. Or is it that we're trying to make that little zombie movie come true? A full moon going and come out and people just jumping out. I don't know. I'm waiting to see if it is your face melt, or I'm not going for no vaccine. I don't care who take it. The nurse that take it, she in the papers, I really don't give a damn. Until you tell me that it's going to stop me from getting the vaccine and I could go as us and not involved. I mean, I don't even know if you put in antibodies. I mean, sorry, It's not antibodies. It's Nanette. There's somebody name, nanobots. Having a little fun today. I start back drinking. So, nanobots inside of me or some kind of foolishness like that. Why I taking this vaccine for? If it not... Anyway, that is it for that. Moving on to Jamaica. COVID is back in Jamaica. I'd like to say something clever with the word backshot, but it doesn't work, so I just want to get points for trying. In Jamaica, and I am most entertained by this, they ban burials. No funerals, nobody getting buried. Now remember, Jamaica does kill people like... Yeah. So... I just don't understand. In addition to that, it has come to my attention from legitimate news sources. Not like, Sunshine newspaper or the Palm or the Blast or the Punch or weird internet sites, but legitimate news sources that might sue me or some foolishness because, they're wicked and malicious and they're just looking for money anyhow they could get it. That old people not allowed to go outside. People over 65 in Jamaica have to stay inside the place. No outside for you, Tanti. None. Stay inside. And they reduce it to 60. So you have your people under house arrest. Tanti can't go to church. Tanti can't go in the market. Tanti can't go by uncle. And, Tanti mightn't even have she teeth again. So this is the best part of Tanti life, to go by uncle. And no, nothing. For those of you that don't understand why Tanti not having teeth might be a good thing, you inbox me. Somebody else got COVID, But I'm tired to talk about it, so I think I'll just leave it out. Oh, alright. It's somebody in Trinidad get it too. Some Diego Martin. Yes, that's it. This is from memory, not in the notes. People, and it's not confirmed. That's why it's not in my notes, because they say that is a suspected case of COVID. And in Trinidad, what that means is that the young man would have sneezed. So we move on. Auntie Cam, coming back to my auntie. She went and she write India to get vaccine, and she tell the Indian people how Trinidad is reeling under the effects of COVID. I believe Dr. Terence Diaz-Singh has an ego complex and a chip on his shoulder, and that's the best thing that happened to him is COVID, because he just gets to be all important and talk every day. He gets something to do. That is my impression of him. So he upset that Auntie Kami went and talked to the Indian people, the Indian Prime Minister. His name is Mooney. So Auntie Kami talked to Mooney, and Terry upsetty. I don't really understand why the woman have a whole office, the office of the opposition leader. She could talk to whoever she want to talk to. But they say it creates an international diplomatic issue. This is not America and the volatile situation with the Middle East. What India would do? Ban me from doubles? Okay, so you get 2 emails, you respond to the other email already talking to Terry, and that's about it. But it's all over the news, so I'm trying to see how best I could understand if it is I'm missing something, because I don't see why I'm missing. And how Auntie Cam say how we reeling and Trinidad is doing so well, which is why it is I just think, he don't like what she said. It make him feel bad because this is his baby, this is his claim to importance. It's like if she come in his house and spit. So anyway, Auntie Cam responded, and this is why I like she. I like my Auntie Cam. I like she. This is no political affiliation. I haven't voted. I think I voted twice. And my first vote was fuck up. I did not say fuck up. I said for cop. C-O-P. So it was a wasted vote. So maybe it was really fuck up. But I like anti-cam-cam. I tired say that. Yes, I'm a chunkalos. So she explained that how it is, and this is why I like she. When she said that we were reeling from the effects, she did not mean that we were reeling from COVID. We are reeling from the effects of COVID, the mass unemployment, the job loss, the reduced income, and the like, which is correct. And she would like the vaccine so that we can stimulate getting back to a state of normalcy as quickly as possible. And she is correct. We are already over $10 billion in excess of the budget. And on top of that, KFC make losses. Let that sink in. KFC make losses. You know how much chickens in Arawak must be confused right now? Because they're only designed to live for 13 weeks. For those of you all that watch Rick and Morty, you would remember the episode with the Mises. And the Mises went bad because they wasn't supposed to be alive for so long. Them chickens and them must be trying to eat itself. Anarchy going on in Arawak. KFC make losses. But here KFC figures now. And this is why it is, they say in the Bible, that it's difficult. It is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to go into heaven. Here KFC figures. And this is the figures that they tell we. Because I don't trust anything. It's a publicly traded company, so it's supposed to be correct, but I don't trust anything. KFC revenue exceeds 2,000 million. Now, all this is why I don't trust everything. Last I checked, and I only get a 2 in maths and then I drop it. And I pray, I light a candle, I get my kananga water, I put her hair in an envelope, I cry, I beg to pass maths. And I get a 2 in Jesus' name. And then I walk away from it. So, it is my pedestrian understanding that 1,000 million makes a billion. So why is it that the papers reported 2,000 million instead of just putting 2 billion? It was deliberate to make it sound less. Or maybe I wrong. Alright. $2 billion and that is all you're paying all your workers? $2 billion and that is what Independence Square KFC look like? $2 billion and penal KFCs never get upgraded and it still have the whole Kentucky Fried Chicken word on it. Last time I went it was 2 years ago, so maybe hopefully I'm wrong because it was still too much because all the KFCs redone decades ago. $2 billion in revenue and all your workers cannot get to sit down during the shift. Only during the breaks. $2 billion in revenue. Just let that sink in. $2 billion in revenue and you don't even have daycare for your workers. And you know the type of workers that you're employing. $2 billion and you don't have a proper corporate training plan to teach these people how to think, talk, act. $2 billion and you don't even have a credit union for them to join so that they could emancipate themselves from underneath your grease. Alright, $2 billion in revenue, right? Maybe they have 1.99 billion in expenses. They only made $18 million in losses though. And I'm saying only 18 million because it's $2 billion in revenue. Yeah? Alright. Why did they adopt a hospital, a children's home, a community ban, a steel pan, a school? Why it is they don't pay somebody legal fees like what Kim Kardashian do? Anyway, I could do a whole rant on KFC and the Obia chicken because I don't like it, but you see when it is you pass by KFC sour and that oil touch your nose You just say, I don't like you, and you just keep walking. And then you just hit KFC Barrett area just a little while up, and the colonel just wink at you. And you just say, no, I'm not on you today. And then you just hit KFC Mova Junction. And the colonel just run outside and say, where's your rail seat? And you say, hey, I'm not on that done. And then, bap, whoops, you hit KFC Independence Square, you know. By that time, all your willpower gone. Thank God it's not 24 hours. And even if it is, you survive the will. If you go up Frederick Street, it have the other one. If it is, you continue, you have one in Movie Town. If you go a little bit up again, it have the one inside our West Mall and outside our West Mall, just in case you leave the mall and you forget that it was there. Anyway, I digress. Tell you, I could do a whole rant on the colonel with the foolishness. I see in here that the maxi, speaking of foolishness, that maxi taxi, the government does pay maxi taxis to transport school children. Now, this is not unknown to us, but it only resonates with me because it was in the papers, because they're saying that they're not getting enough money. That the government does pay them $82 a day. $82 a day, but it does cost them $100 a day to run the maxi. So if I understand it correctly, it means for you to make a profit on your maxi after the government giving you $82, you just need to make $19, and you will be making a profit on your maxi. In addition to that, if you have a contract with your government, remember as a maxi driver, you will be self-employed. It's not really a registered business. So if it is you have to do business, get a loan, get a mortgage, get a hire purchase, you have to bring a 6 months bank statement to show your income and all this kind of thing. And if it is you have a contract with the government, that would help, provide a nice, sexy platform for you to reach places easier. So, what the ass is your problem exactly? Is it that when it is the government hire you, you just drop the children in the school and then sit down in the school whole day because you had to be on call? Or something? Because I'm not aware of that. I never really see a maxi just sitting down in the school. So, it means that you could do your morning run, however it goes, and then do your evening run. So then you have the whole day and the weekend to do whatever you need to do. But apart from these ungrateful wretches and why the ass it is the government paying them when it is we have all these buses? PTSC is government owned. I mean, it's true, I could cook, but I'd still go out and buy food. But this isn't the same thing. And a bus bigger than a maxi, so you might even need less. You could even hire a bus if you want. You could pay for a bus privately. You could rent a bus. PTSC has that facility, just like how it is you could rent a maxi. So even if it is you want to hire PTSC, so to speak, instead of just using your own resources. Alright, I'm moving on, I'm moving on. While it is we TTVing with this tapestry of shit, including the fact that Wassa, when you're talking about that Wassa thing again, but apparently Mr. Watson Duke wife have one big contract with Wassa in excess of some millions, and he's an employee in Wassa, and he threw in dirt at Stuart Young brother and Keith Rowley wife. See the stupidness that we just be doing? While it is we playing the fool and distracting each other with nonsense, Answer McCall went and buy Bank of Baroda. And this is fantastic because let me just put logic into it, right? If it is that we look at your house, if it is you have a family that have land and you want to build a house, and then you have another family that does make cement, another one that does make bricks, another one that does make windows, another one that does make glass, another one that does make AC, another one that does do electricity, another one that does do cable, another one that does do water, another one that does do plumbing, another one that does make furniture, another one that does make finishes, paint, flooring, tiles, wood, fixtures. Another one that does make hot water systems. Another one that does make water pump. Another one that does make tanks. And you have someone in the bank that does give you the mortgage. All right. You just remember that these people and them come in the country after most of us, and they were selling clothes. So while we go ahead and keep TTVing ourselves, imagine you hiring employees, and all it is you doing is giving them money basically to make message, to go and give your brother and your sister and your cousin. And we wonder why they're so rich. And since we touch on Wassa, let me put on the tail light and reverse it back. I wonder how she going with herself. In Mova, they play that song so much times, huh? I think I dream it, all kind of thing. I wonder what's going on with she. Lava. Anyway. So we're going back to these people, Wassa. Since 1960, it had a newspaper article in The Guardian saying that how it is they're going to have water for all. In the 1950s, it had a riot. People burned down thing because there were water for all. In 2021, I don't have water right now. And yesterday, well, I had to go and scrub the bathroom, all kind of thing, because the water come out of the pipe like paint. And I just so accustomed, I just went about my life normal, And I surmise that it's just the color. It ain't gonna kill you because it's still got the chlorine in it. But I couldn't help but think if it is Jesus had sent this water down in the river, if I would have been washing ways in it with this color. Water for all. It have places in Port of Spain. It have places in Belmont that doesn't get water more than 5 times a month. The people and them recycling water. A shower is like Christmas morning for them. We surrounded by water. This is an island, This is not a continent with Trinidad in the middle. We surrounded by water. We have a $60 billion economy, which means that we just making about 52, 58 million more than KFC. We have a $60 billion economy. Yes, it's a big gap between KFC and the economy, but I don't even think that the both of them supposed to be in the same lane, category, or anything in the first place. And that's just KFC, yeah? Well, Prestige Holdings to be politically correct. Imagine what Answer McCall does do. Imagine what Republic Bank does do. So, we have a $60 billion economy and we can build a blasted desalination plant to give people water for all up to now. It have the desalination plant there that as per usual, we can't make that work because, we just incompetent. But that desalination plant was never sufficient enough for the whole country. So why it is we can build another desalination plant up to now? We're surrounded by water. Even if it is we don't want to take the salt out of the water, it have people that live in the desert that have irrigation systems to take the water out of the air. It have rain catchment technology out there. What is we really doing? These things not difficult. Look at how much billions of dollars they pump into Wassa before this commission of inquiry. One of them billions of dollars could have go towards one of these technologies. All these people that we educating for free and none of them even coming up with a way, a plan. It have a whole engineering society in Trinidad and they can't even figure out how to pave the road. Is it that we like it so? This is the shit that we like. We like it. It had to be them. We should stop protesting. Maybe we just say these things so that the papers could come up. We could say, hey, look my picture! Gladys! Because I don't understand what is really going on. Just like with Sean Luke, because I'm trying to figure out at this point in time if it is this Sean Luke dude, if it is the accused who never found, well, okay, I'm tripping over my words because legality is a tapestry of shit, which is why I drop out of my law degree. That and for personal reasons that I would not put in the rant. It's sensitive. She knew who she was. But anyway. Oh, good emotions. So, I lost my whole train of thought, but I keep in this. And how far we reached? 35 minutes, so this would be a long one. Yes, so with Sean Luke, is it that he, the accused, never confessed to the crime? Because it was my understanding that we know that they do it, that they confess to the crime, and it was just a mere formality to actually sentence them and give them due process. But their lawyers fighting that they get treated unfair and inhumane conditions, and this is a miscarriage of justice, and the case need to be thrown out. But I don't know, I don't have sympathy for them, because when they was carriaging the cane of the little boy ass, they wasn't studying these things. But more importantly, these are two grown men now, 28 and 30 years old. Their life already taken away from them in any case. So I don't know what the penalty is for rape or buggery, manslaughter, but I don't think that they should go free. I don't think that their attorneys should be fighting for a miscarriage of justice. It have other things that you could fight for and still represent your clients. Why don't you fight for getting their day in court? Why don't you fight for the DPP to do what they're supposed to do? You'd still be fighting a miscarriage of justice. You'd be demanding that your client get the day in court by the DPP doing what they're supposed to do. You see, it's one thing to say that, you have to follow the rule of law and everybody have a part to play, and if it is we deviate from it, then the consequences are bigger than all of us, and it's a breakdown in the fabric of society. But how valuable is the fabric of society if it is any Tom, Dick and Harry could see a tapestry of shit? Then you wouldn't have respect for it. The fabric of society would be reduced from silk and linen to shit paper. And now to conclude, I will end with the opposite story to what I began with, that I'll mention again. You already invested, it's 37 minutes in, so I'll mention it again. Fun Clear Steel Orchestra has emancipated themselves from the financial necessity of government subvention to do what they need to do by opening an NLCB lotto booth and a gift shop. Meanwhile, public schools, specifically the one in Tobago that has the one student with COVID, has taken the opportunity to let the press know that their school is in need. That people are turning up for labs and whatnot, and they don't have the mechanisms necessary to do it. So the papers ask, why is this? Is it mismanagement? No! No! That's what they say, right? And then they went on to explain that the denominational schools don't have this problem. So, I find that the principal of Mariah was looking to collect bottle to face. Because if it is, you have an actively working template on how to better your school. You're an educated person. To be a principal, as far as I know, you need a degree. You have an income of over $150,000 a year. What else would it take for you chunkalos to sit your ass down and simply copy and paste? But I'm pretty sure you know fully well what the next principal in the other school drive in and what they have in their house, and how it is you could get that car and I don't have it too, and how much your pay is and how much my pay is, and when is the next vacation and when is the next PSA protest and whatnot. You fully well aware as to how the prestige and the denominational schools just do what they do. Why haven't you initiated it? I would have been able to take you seriously if you had said that you had attempted this, that, and the other, and it did not work. St. Mary's College does get over $1 million from one carnival fete every year. That school is well painted, gated, and air conditioned. So is St. Joseph Convent. And don't talk about bishops with the old Hilarions fete or QRC out of the blue. But QRC always need money out of the blue. That is a whole other story altogether. You in Tobago, where people just run for lime, for food, for festivities, you cannot find a way to make the additional money that you need. You cannot take one of the things that you teach in them secondary school students is business. You cannot take the money that the government give you and instead of spending all of it, or wherever they just do with it, you can't take it and make an investment in some assets. I had to sit down and tell you that too, then I should fire you. I'm really fed up, But I'm going to conclude here on this edition of Richard Rants. And I thank you all. I do hope that the audio is good. I have a personal irrational fear of listening to my own voice. I find it's cannibalism. That's why I'm so humbled beyond words that this resonates with so many people and it adds something to their day. My producer has given me an ultimatum, so I'll start back listening to my voice at some point, or I'll begin to lie for the first time. But be that as it may, thank you all. Have a blessed day. And please, just do your best. Don't be like these things in the rants that you just hear about. You all are employed. You all going out there. You all doing things. Please, just do your best.